here to talk to you about how to make your really cool make your own bouncy ball experiment for the science birthday party. So this activity should last you about 15 minutes with the kids. I'm going to show you how it's done and show you the material that you need to realize this experiment. So you're going to need 8 molds, so 1 mold per child. You're going to need 8 powder packs, so 1 powder pack per child. You're going to need 1 little cup per child, and you're going to need some water. So a lot of water for every child to be able to fill their little cups with water. All right, so let's show you how it's done. So first you're going to distribute to all the kids the little molds. So these molds, obviously we're going to have to close them. So how the kids are going to do is they're going to close them, and it's important to hear the little click. There you go. So once it clicks, it means it's solidly in place, and even if I put a little pressure to try and open it, it won't open. So this is awesome. This is perfect. So then each child gets their mold. Now, in the mold will go the powder. So here you can obviously ask the birthday child to choose his or her color before everyone else, and then distribute the powder packs that there's left to the other kids. I encourage you to make a little incision with the scissors on the corner so that the kids can just open it after like this, and it's super easy, leaving only a little hole for the powder to come out, so minimizing all the mess that can be done from the kids. So we're gonna take the powder. A whole sachet of powder should be put into our little ball mold, so let's do it. You're gonna see at some point that there's gonna be no more space to put the powder. It's okay, because what we're gonna do is just gently tap the mold on the table, and then it's gonna go down a little bit, leaving more room. You don't have to tap it too much, because we do need air to be left between the little crystals of the packet. So air is important. So I'm tapping lightly, and then I finished my mold, my bag of powder into my mold. So once all the powder is in my mold, each child is gonna take a little cup and fill it with water. Again, here I do emphasize that it's important that the kids make the things themselves. Even if it's pouring the water in their little cup, when they have the feeling that they're doing it themselves, they have a lot more fun instead of just watching the adult do it. And if there's a little spillage, again, it's a science party, you know, you're gonna have to expect a little spillage here and there from the kids, which is totally normal. So what is important here is that we're gonna put our mold in the water. We're gonna immerse the whole mold in the water. And it's important for the mold to be covered with water as well. And one more thing you're gonna see is you're gonna notice bubbles as I'm putting the mold in the water. So the little bubbles are super important, because the air that is in the mold and between the powder is being replaced by water, and it's gonna help our bouncy ball to be created if there's water that goes in to the powder as well. So there we have it. Our mold is in the little water, and we're gonna leave it there for at least 5 minutes. What are we gonna do during that 5 minutes? You guys are gonna explain to the kids what is the science behind these little bouncy balls, because the science behind it is pretty cool. All right, so at this point, I would invite all the kids to rise up from their chair, to get away from the table, and to go move around. So each child is now becoming an atom. So we have different matter. We have solid, liquid, and gas. And solid, liquid, and gas is constituted with atoms. We want our kids to represent the atoms in these different phases of matter. So in solid, which you can ask kids to give you example of solid things, which is a table, floor, a lamp. So those are all things that are very solid, that are hard. So the atoms of something solid will be glued together. They're gonna be really, really tight together. So ask the kids to form the atoms of a solid. So ask them to come close together as tight as possible. Now, the second phase is liquid. Ask the kids, well, first of all, what is liquid? Ask them to give you ideas, but liquid can be water, can be oil, can be different things that flow. So now ask the kids to create the atoms of liquid. So the atoms of liquid are a little more far apart, but they're always touching each other, but they have space for movement. Now, gas. Gas atoms are like teenagers. They are super far and super independent. They're very far apart, they don't touch each other. So you can ask the kids to move around very far away from each other, and that creates the atoms of the gas phase. All right, now that we know these three phases and we know how atoms are constituted within them, ask them if they think that a bouncy ball is solid, liquid, or gas. So this is the trick here. A bouncy ball looks hard, looks like a solid, but in fact it's a semi-liquid. And that's exactly why it bounces, because when it hits the surface, the space between their atom allows it to have a little bounce and then go up really far away. All right, so now that the 5 minutes has passed, we can definitely take our little mold out of the water. I have one that I've previously done for you guys. And we're gonna squeeze open the little red tags here, and we're gonna open our mold. And here you have it, our bouncy ball is awesome. This part is a little tricky. You're gonna need to use some nail to take it out, and if ever there's some powder that is not coming out very well, it's not a problem. Just put your bouncy ball in some water, and then with your hands you can mold it again. Because remember, it's not a solid, it's a semi-liquid, so we're able to fix it up as well. So there you have it. Your bouncy ball is really neat. The kids can actually play with it, but since right now it's still a bit gooey, I do encourage the kids to put it in their little cup and close it, and you tell them that they can use it in a few hours, meaning after the party, so that they don't accumulate all the dust on the floor on their little bouncy ball. So there you have it. I hope you have a lot of fun with your bouncy ball and making them. And if ever you have some powder left over, the kids can do another bouncy ball as well. So enjoy yourselves.